What are your thoughts, and we're going to leave this wide open for you to take any direction you want to. What are your thoughts on the smoke-free Mesquite effort?
I think in theory it's wonderful. You know, my husband has COPD. We pay over $300 a month for his medicines, and it's really horrible to watch somebody you love struggling to breathe. I wish nobody smoked. On the other hand, I can't support it. I can't get behind it because I'm about personal rights. I would not even presume to come in and tell some business how they need to run their business. I would not even get to the point where I would come and tell you, you can't smoke. I used to smoke. My husband smoked, obviously. And you know what? I just can't do that. There have been studies that have shown that in other areas, Wyoming and Montana, I believe, where they tried that, you know, smoke-free casino, smoke-free this, and they lost profits of 40%. Well, you know what? If places like the Eureka and the Casa and the Virgin River lost 40% in profits, what else are we going to lose? We're going to lose jobs. And if we start losing jobs, we start losing other businesses. And it's just going to be contributing that much more to the downfall of the Mesquite economy. No, I don't like smoking any better than anybody else does, or people that don't smoke. But can I tell other people how they can smoke or not smoke? And you know what? It's a casino. It's a bar. I appreciate the fact that we finally did make a law that says you can't smoke in restaurants, you know, where there's little kids and stuff. We shouldn't have them in the casinos or bars anyway. Certain things you go to. What are they going to do? Tell us next that we can't drink beer in a bar? I mean, it could be a little bit insane.
Speaking of economic issues, what do you think the city should do to improve the business climate of Mesquite?
I think we need a business advocate. I think we need more business advocates. I think that I can point out 2 or 3 different things that have happened in Mesquite. A couple of businesses that have thought they were jumping through all the right hoops to get down to the final thing, and now they're going out of business. Now, was that the city's fault? Probably not, because the actual problem that came up at the end was with the state and an access road and some other things. But maybe we should work on getting somebody that's gone through this process and had problems. Let's find out how to work through those problems. Let's at least have a list we can hand people and say, here are potential roadblocks. Here are things that we can look at. Here are the things you need to do. Here are the places you can go to help you write a business plan. Here are the places you can go if you need financing. Here are the places you can go. You know, it doesn't, and I'm not talking about giving people incentives and giving away the farm. What I'm talking about is to help people to maybe make their dreams come true. And we've got enough retired business people here in this town that I don't think it would cost us a dime. You know, we could really work through getting people information, because most people, when they're looking at opening a business, some people say, oh, I've got a great idea. They have no money, no idea, you know, how to start it. Well, maybe they're not a great candidate to open a business. Other people, they have the financing and they have a great idea, but maybe they've never had any real world business experience before. Well, we need to find people they can hook up with to maybe help them through that. I mean, I have lots of other ideas about business, but I really think that some of the businesses in this town could have been saved if we had really helped them instead of trying. It almost does seem like instead of encouraging them, we wait until they get to a bad spot and they go, oh, you can't do that because this is a rule. And maybe they'd have worked through it if they'd have known that was a rule before. I don't think it's intentional. I don't think anybody's trying to hurt businesses, but I think it's a process we need to work through a little bit better.
Okay. There was a business summit on January 28th that was sponsored by the Mesquite Chamber of Commerce that hosted 2 business leaders in town, Corey Clemenson and Greg Lee. Corey Clemenson owns the Wolf Creek Golf Course.
Correct.
Greg Lee owns the Eureka Casino. And I believe you were at the summit.
Yep.
They discussed what they called the core industries in Mesquite of golf and gaming. What do you think are the core industries in Mesquite? And what would you recommend the city do or not do to support them if you win a seat on the city council?
I think we have to look at it in a little bit broader scope. When they talk about golf and gaming, I think those are probably our two biggest industries in Mesquite. But I think the core industry is really more about tourism. And I think how we support that is by these things like what's coming up is like, you know, the off-road weekend, the some like the long drivers. There are so many different things that go on in Mesquite, but we also have, when I say tourism, our fields up there are in use constantly by baseball groups, soccer groups, all these other things. And so I think we should focus on tourism. People, yes, come to town to golf. They come to town for spas. They come to town just to play. But I think that we should focus it more on a tourism level than just saying it's golf and gaming, because I think Mesquite is so much more than just golf and gaming.
Okay. Can you be a little more specific about what the, you would, as a city council member, do to support those activities and to increase the economic base?
To increase the economic base, I think that we're moving in the right direction. We have the, is it the MRA? The
MRB.
MRB, okay.
Mesquite Regional Business.
Mesquite Regional Business, yes. And then there's the MRA. I got to get my acronyms right.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're moving in the right direction with that, and that's to start opening the door and looking for people to bring in. I also think that as a city council person, I don't think that promoting Mesquite is necessarily the city council's job. I believe that businesses have to market themselves. I don't think that's the city's job. And so to promote tourism, I think you look for businesses that will attract people. I think that's what we hope that the MRB will do. I think as a city council person, what you do is, whether I'm elected or not, I plan on going to Rural Roundup, which is all about tourism in Nevada. There are a lot of things that you can do just to be involved in the LVCVA, which we already pay for, to be involved in things that help us to look at different ways to get people into town. Like I said, my business, that's what it's all about, is tourism and bringing people to Mesquite. So I think being involved is probably the closest thing I can say to an answer, because I don't think it's any one council person or the council's job to promote Mesquite or to promote somebody's business.
Okay. All right.